Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to HCS Pro Talk, your weekly Halo esports podcast. This is episode 251 for the week of September 4th, 2022. And the title of this week's episode is, and you know what's funny? Before I even say what the title of this week's episode is, I'd actually go back and look through the previous episodes to make sure I never used this yet. Because I feel like this has come up so often, so frequent, that I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. And I never used it. So this is the first time. The title of this week's episode is Infinite Disappointment.
That one hurts.
A little bit. But you know what? After I was done... Also, what's up, Winkler? Welcome back. I will say this. When I was thinking of a title for this week's episode, and after I put it down in the show notes and everything, I sat back and I thought to myself, is it really that bad? And obviously we're going to talk about it's our topic of this week. And believe it or not, I don't think I have a rant. So there's that. But then I thought about, I'm like, it is disappointing. So I'm going to keep the title the way that it is, but I don't want it to sound like as clickbaity as one might think. Because yes, I am disappointed in the news that we got over the weekend. But at the same time, it's like, it's kind of where we're at. We have to live with it, which is disappointing. So that's why I kept the title the way it is, but I digress. My name is Josh, aka Fire. This week I'm joined by the man who almost matched in the Envy and Optic stuff, but instead is wearing the championship whites is what I'm going to call them, but for Envy, hopefully the not cursed ones, Will, aka I, Mr. Mayhem. Will, how are you doing on this Jesus Christ, Tuesday? Money Tuesday? Oh!
Whoa.
I haven't screamed in a while.
Yeah, you had to get that out?
Yeah, it's just kind of funny because I scream all the time.
You do.
Beth, thank you for the 28-month resub. You get a whoa!
28 fucking months. Wow.
28. Will, how are you doing on this Tuesday evening?
I'm doing all right. Worked today, which is...
always a fun time?
Yeah, wonderful time. Always great. And now I'm here for the show. So I'm excited to talk some Halo and move forward. What about you? How was your day?
My day was busy, but more so, obviously work too, but more so in the getting stuff ready for home stuff. I was telling Will before we recorded that we're working on getting a new water softener, getting a new furnace, especially when weather's going to be taking... I hate to say it, but yes, we will be leaving summer soon.
Yeah, especially football season starting. And what it means we're on the verge of fall.
Yep.
It's right there.
And I hate it, but it is what it is. The thing I'm probably least excited about is all the leaves falling and me having to pick that shit up.
Clean up the leaves.
But that's besides the point. Carnage, welcome back. Says made 2 weeks in a row. Let's go. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Welcome back. Never mind.
All right. But
yeah. I totally lost my train of thought because I was gonna say Denny, and then but I didn't. So then I can't not. So I did.
What do we got coming up on this episode, Josh?
Thank you for bringing the show back on the rails. I appreciate it. The United Grunt Classic comes into view. HCS playoff bundles have been announced and released. Another player for Fnatic enters free agency because that team can't do anything together. Tournaments are announced and recapped, including the conclusion to the final regional event leading into Orlando. And we have our topic of the Halo Infinite roadmap update. And like I said, believe it or not, probably not a rant this week, but that's besides the point. Will, let's get into some combative news. Europa Halo teases new merch. This is by Europa Halo. This is what's this? New merch? And I said, give it to me. And
you always want the merch.
I do want the merch. And they said that they're looking to work on stuff for Worlds.
Oh, they blurred it?
Yeah, they fucking blurred. It's a tease. It's a fucking tease, bro.
Come on, man.
I bet if we just reach out to the DMs and be like, hey, can you just send us what it was going to be? Can we just see it, please?
I still have that Nike zip up.
Same here.
It's so good. It was such a nice hoodie.
Yeah, it's awesome. Woo. It's embroidered. Shit's fucking awesome. Beth says, funny how that idea brings about totally opposite feelings depending upon where you live. I'm like, thank God summer's almost over. Okay, Beth, you live in Beth.
It's hot as hell there.
You live in the hottest like section of Texas possible, and it only gets worse as the summer goes on for you. I don't envy you. Like, I get it. But, you know, I'm not saying our summers don't suck because they do in their own way. It's just, I do feel bad for you. Like, that sucks. I just also hate winter because in Minnesota, we get like dramatically fucking cold winters.
Yeah.
And they suck. And I don't like them because I'm a fucking freeze baby. Is that my problem? Yes. But I still do not like it in the slightest. I cannot fucking stand it.
And hello to
that
F1.
Fine guy.
Is it fine?
F1NE. I'm going to say fine guy.
Yeah.
Says hi. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome. Europa Halo is also looking for casters. This is by Europa Halo. They state, hello, casters. We need you. We have a massive project at the end of the year and require some new casters to join the team. If you're interested, send us a DM to find out more. So if you are a caster, I don't think it has to be EU, but like if you're easily available, I would say reach out to them in the DMs.
And just keep in mind the time distance or difference.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Also, if you want to, should we say it? Can we say it? Should we say it?
Is it happening for sure?
I think so.
We're on the ticket?
I think so.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, fuck it. If you guys want to see us casting, yes, us. For better or worse, probably worse. If you want to see us casting something, we'll be casting a Halo Rec League match on Thursday this week. So, Bob's your uncle. Fucking dumbass saying.
You love it, though.
I hate it. I love to hate it. But yeah, if you want to see us cast some Halo, like I said, for better or worse and probably worse, then check out the Halo Rec League stream on Thursday. I think we have the first game.
Yes,
of the night.
We'll have to be sure to send out a tweet when we're going live on the Rec League channel.
It'll be a fun time. It'll be a fun time. That fine guy says, "Let's go. I want to see that. Can I join?" If you join the stream, it's at Halo Rec League on Twitch. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that is what their channel is. Yeah, so go check it out. Go follow them, and we'll probably see you on Thursday.
And we're going to do great.
Hell yeah, we are. We are going to do something. We are going to do something. It's going to be, I don't even know. I'm excited. I got to like mentally prepare myself.
Yeah. I need to reach out and be like, okay, who are we casting? Get the names, get the,
Yeah. No, I don't think you should because I think the funniest part is you fucking up their names live.
I want to know who I'm.
Oh, I think it'd be hilarious.
What the series layout's going to be. I at least want like.
Oh, sure.
I want to do my research here.
Oh,
I want to do this in at least a somewhat professional fashion.
Absolutely. I definitely like. Yes, there's going to be some jokes and whatnot, but no, I genuinely want to be like, no, this is Shio reached out and well, you joked about it, but then Shio's like, let's do it, and we're like, oh, okay,
it's happening.
Yeah, it's happening. E-United Grunt Classic information by E-United. What's up, Martin? Welcome back. The talent has been announced. This includes Clutch, Active, Why Not, and Shyway as casters, and the host is Jolly. The prize pool breakdown is 7th and 8th will take home $500, 5th and 6th $1,000, 4th $2,000, 3rd $4,000, 2nd $6,000, and first place will take home a whopping $10,000. And then if you're going to make a donation, which you absolutely should, they're going to go to You Are Rad. 100% of donations received during the stream will go to You Are Rad, raising money for those unable to afford mental health care costs. And that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm really glad we have another partner team putting on an event.
Yep.
And the fact that the donations are going to those costs it's just incredible.
It is incredible.
So good to see more activity going on because we definitely need it.
Yes. And as Tashi stated previously, there will be more in the future. So Stay tuned. And then finally, Will, I mentioned this earlier, Ranked Doubles Update. This is by Halo Support, and they state, the Ranked Doubles matchmaking playlist has been updated so that all maps have an equal likelihood of appearing. No download is needed for this update, but if you're currently playing, restart Halo Infinite to ensure you receive this back-end update. And no, they did not remove the sword from Catalyst, so get fucked. I'm just kidding. I think it's stupid too. But at least the weighting is equal now across all the maps within the playlist. So that's at least something.
You skipped over something.
Did I? Oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I'm sorry. See, I'm fucking know I'm paying attention to my own show notes. HCS playoff bundles have been announced and released as a matter of today. The announcement is we're in the end game now. New HCS partner team playoff bundles are coming to Halo Infinite, available September 6th. That is today at the time of this recording. And the playoff bundles are packed with goods, a Mark 7 coating, a BR coating, a weapon charm, and a nameplate and emblem. And these new coatings will not be kits. You'll be able to apply customization options to your Mark 7 core and battle rifle. The only semi-complaint that I had about this, and I know, like, holy shit, how could you complain about this? This is awesome. There's no kits associated with it. I know! But it wouldn't be me if I didn't have something to complain about, right? Apparently.
I mean...
But, no, in all seriousness, the only thing that got me, and this is, I blame myself because clearly I can't fucking read, is that I genuinely thought for, like, a split second that these were going to be available for all cores and not just the Mark 7.
Oh.
So, like, I booted up the game today. I bought all the packs, and I'm ready to go, and I'm going into customization options, and I go to, like, the fucking, the Beefy Boy core, and I go in there, and I look at the coatings, and I'm like, what?
The Tenrai core or, like, the airplane looking dude.
The airplane looking dude. Yeah. So I look there and I'm like, what? They're not okay. And then I go to like to the other. I go to a couple more and I'm like, why the fuck aren't they there? Yeah. The rock. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm a fucking moron. They're literally only for the Mark 7, which is fine. It's fine, but like you know, and eventually we'll have cross core stuff. So
hopefully.
No, they said. So.
I mean,
but then again. We'll talk about that later.
Anyway,
you know what? I actually have so like we're going to talk about the quote unquote canceling of campaign split screen later in the show, but I do want to say I have like a slight silver lining to that situation. Okay.
I
do have a slight silver lining to that situation. We'll talk about that later. That fine guy says it'd be so sweet if you could add HCS skins to any core. That'd be sick. I agree. And like that's the thing is that we're getting. They did say that we'll be that eventually, not like now, not soon, not far future. They literally didn't give a time frame, but in the future, they will have cross-core customization, so including coatings. So there you go.
Beth High Tech Redneck states, my only complaint is that I kind of wish you could make a different Spartan for each skin for those who like to switch it up every few games. So if you don't have to go. Excuse me, changing the visor, emblem, etc. But overall, love it. So
an example of this in an actual title would be considered Destiny. So if you use DIM, Destiny Item Manager, which is an API tool, right? So it's like a browser extension you can download for Chrome or whatever, and you open it up, you can create loadouts.
Yeah.
For whatever gear you want. And so like if you have a PvP centric gear, you have a PvE centric gear set, you could have them set as loadouts, a raid centric loadout, whatever it may be. And with a press of a button, it would automatically dequip and equip everything that you had selected. And we know it's possible with Destiny. Obviously Halo's API is going to be different. But no, I think something like that, like a loadout type scenario for customization would be really, really fucking cool because Beth, I agree with you. Like, that's that, and like Fine Guy said as well, Fortnite does the same thing with presets, right?
Yeah.
I would love to see something like that with Halo because I do go in, like, especially with these coatings being Mark 7 specific right now, I do go in there and be like, man, I'd love to be able to fucking rock Space Station Gold. But I wear the Optic Championship whites right now, right? And then,
sure.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be easily able to switch between them. So
yeah, because like right now I switched. I had the red, white, and black one that recently came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm feeling something different today. I switched it to like the HCS launch one. Mm-hmm. I'm like, now the whole aesthetic doesn't really fit.
Right, now I have to change everything.
I was like, I don't want to change everything. I'm just going to rock the green and look a little funny.
Yep.
Like, you know, but yes, it would be nice to have those presets. It's a good point.
Hell yeah. Good job, Beth.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. So yeah. Look out. Somebody asked in Discord, I forgot, it might have been Ungoy, if I'm not mistaken, asked, like, what are your favorites so far? I'll just point out personal favorites of mine are Optics. Obviously, I think seeing them live in game now, especially like with the better renders that were shown off, it looks really, really good. Also, I am a fan of Space Station's gold shit. I think that's fucking hilarious that it's a straight gold.
Yeah.
And then a special shout out to Cloud9's charm. It's a happy face Cloud.
Yeah.
Shout
I
out to
need that charm.
Yeah. Shout out to Sentinel's charm as well. I like the cube. I like that.
Very
that
good.
Looks cool.
Very good.
And then also I forgot to say, but shout out to FaZe's charm because it's literally the like a foam finger FaZe logo.
Yep.
Yeah, FaZe.
Yep. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's red. Also, E-United skin, because that was one of my big complaints about E-United's was that it was like all white with just some very slight blue and red accents. Mm-hmm. And now I wanted it to be black, and now it's black, and I'm happy.
There you go.
So it's literally what I wanted.
And just H2 Goat Cheese. Thanks for the follow.
Ooh, thank you so much. Goat cheese. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. That's it for the competitive news. Your upcoming tournaments of the week presented by noobcombo.com. Check out noobcombo.com for all your Halo esports needs. The other thing I want to add is that, can we pour one out for Maddie real quick? He's had a pretty shit day, to be completely honest. He was out of work for a little bit, finally was able to go back to work. He posted this on Twitter, so this isn't like you're
not oversharing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was finally able to go back to work, and then he had to go back home because there was a leak in his roof. So
man.
He just kind of got fucked over multiple times. So
I don't have a drink, but cheers to Maddie.
Maddie, looking out for you, man. Shout out Maddie Rums. Shout out noobcombo.com. Here are your upcoming tournaments of the week. Daily tournaments are Z-League Daily Tournaments and First Blood Daily Tournaments, of course. Saturday, September 10th, we have the JJ events, Halo Infinite 4v4, and on Sunday, September 11th, Lord BR. I'm just going to spell it out. Lord SHBR Halo Infinite 2v2 is taking place as well. So there are your upcoming tournaments of the week. Light week this week.
Very light.
Yeah. You know, as we ramp up, leading up into this E-United event before Orlando, as we lead into Orlando, like I'm okay with like just a
little bit of calmness.
A little bit of calm. We have football starting up this week too.
A lot of calm in Halo space though.
Previously, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, then again, that break between KC and Orlando is like pretty fucking big, but we do have football starting this week, so we have something to watch.
We do.
Yeah. That's it for upcoming tournaments this week, presented by noobcombo.com. Check out noobcombo.com for all your Halo esports needs, and shout out Maddie Rums again. Will, what do we got next? Mania.
Do I need to add more echo to the soundbite?
No.
One piece of news for Rostermania today, and it is Rami announces free agency. This is over on Twitter. He says, unrestricted free agent for Orlando. 15,510 points. Kind of got blindsided. Hit me up. And then also from Rami, he says, I never understand how I can be told, had a talk with the rest of the team, yet my teammates don't find out I got dropped until I tell them. Second time, man. I love Halo and weak mentals. Huh.
So Rami got happy. Rami got fucked over again.
That's what it sounds like.
Yep. And Fnatic are, you know what? Yeah. They were already there before, but I can put them there confidently now. They are now before Space Station picked up the Pittsburgh Knights, they are now in that dumpster fire category of teams.
Of just needing to figure out what they need to do.
Need to figure out anything.
Yeah.
Like literally haven't figured out anything. So yeah.
Ugh. That's it. That's all we got for Rostermania this week. Not much else out there.
All right. Shall we get into some scrim recaps, Will, before we get to the tournament league recaps that you'll run through?
Yeah.
Again, HaloDataHive.com for all your Halo statistical needs. I will say that he is working on condensing the amount of API calls that are needed. So please be aware that I if I'm not mistaken, personal service records are not available. But I believe that scrims, most if not all, are being recorded, and then tournaments, most if not all, are being recorded. Therefore, I have a couple scrims I want to point out here. First up, on Tuesday, August 30th, we had Complexity taking on FaZe, and Complexity actually took the scrim 7-6. And if you do not listen to our show or have not listened regularly, I will just repeat again, scrims don't mean anything. If anything, they are just practice for these teams. And as we've seen week over week, day after day, the online issues are so persistent and are plaguing the players in these scrims that sometimes teams just leave scrims early because they're that bad. The fine guy asks, who is FaZe's fourth? If we're not mistaken, it's going to be King Nick. So there you go.
That is kind of the general idea right now. It's not been confirmed anywhere, right?
Yeah, it's correct. It has not been confirmed. But yeah, it all signs point out because it's who they're scrimming with. And TGW, yes, also said that. Welcome, TGW, by the way. And Ziggler with the 3-month resub. You get a woo! Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you
for the resub. Greatly appreciated. Go ahead.
Yeah, with scrims too. It was stated last week. Someone in chat put it too. Sometimes these teams are trying new strats or just something different that they don't normally do.
Yes.
That the result could just be like them figuring it out. Okay, that doesn't work. We lost that game because of this, this, and this, and then they move on. Sometimes it's not a true show of what they can really do.
That's right. Couldn't agree more. Moving on in the scrim results. Again, they don't necessarily mean anything. But on Wednesday, August 31st, we had FaZe beating Sentinels 9-8. So there's something to maybe take into consideration. And then G1 actually beat C9 in a scrim 7-5.
Boo-boo take my doo-boo.
Boo-boo taking all the doo-boos. I did not include them because they happened. I just didn't have time to add them. But will say recent scrims have been the following. As of yesterday, September 5th, we had FaZe beating G1 9-4. We had FaZe beating Optic 5-4. Okay. Sentinels beating G1 8-6, so a close scrim there. And there you have it. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Navi scrims are great for highlighting the trying new things argument. There you go. So if you want to see some new things being tried out, go check out Navi scrims. The other thing I'm going to point out is I think Onset tweeted out recently that he didn't want to jump to a conclusion or anything, but FaZe are looking scary or something like that. I'm like, I'll wait.
I do need to see that in action before I can jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah, I'll wait. I will absolutely wait. Now we do know. Okay, so from what we've heard about the FaZe situation thus far that's out there publicly, clearly this team wasn't going to work with Snipe Down on it in any capacity. So now that Snipe Down is not necessarily on it, he is on it, but he's not playing with it, and Nick might be actually on it. We know that Spartan and Nick are together.
They're a duo. They are a duo.
They came from United. And so we know the dynamic that they have together, and we know that that's going to work out just fine. It's just, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We also know how Nick can play in terms of a more aggressive role, which isn't necessarily what they need.
I do wonder if he's learned anything from the team hopping, though.
Oh, for sure. If anything, I would say he did. For sure. It's just whether he capitalizes on that learning, because the last thing that FaZe roster needs is somebody who's more aggressive.
And it's Falcated and Renegade, the other two, right?
Correct.
To be just a...
Yep. Falcated, Renegade, Spartan, and now more than likely King Nick. So we'll just have to wait and see how they perform because, like we said, scrims aren't anything.
It's fair.
That's all I got for the scrim results for the week. Would you mind running through the tournament league recaps that happened over the last week, please?
All right. Yeah, going to do something a little different this time. Just going to run through the top 2 teams for the big tournaments and then top 4 for FFAs. So first off, we have Esports Arena Series E. In your finals, you had Cloud9 versus FaZe plus King Nick.
Who would have guessed that?
Your second place team ended up being Cloud9 with Eco, Penguin, Bound, and Stellar, if you didn't know. And then FaZe plus King Nick, obviously the four we just mentioned, Renegade, Falcated, Spartan, and Nick. So they did take a tournament. However, online, we know what's going on with online stuff. So I'll leave my expectations in check on that.
I think the E-United Grunt Classic is going to be, again, another good practice situation. But again, it doesn't, and we've talked about this on the show as well, and you see some conversations on Reddit and whatnot of like how important is LAN versus online. LAN is dramatically more important than an online tournament is. It just removes every possible factor of connection from you. To where everybody should, emphasis on should, be on an even playing field. Yeah. So personally, like I said, I believe the Grunt Classic for E-United is going to be better practice, but LAN Orlando is going to be the true test for that FaZe roster. So hopefully they're getting in as much practice as possible, and it clearly looks like that based off the scrim results. It's just, again, we've seen teams do really, really well in scrims and then completely falter in LAN. Optic. So we literally, you cannot bank anything on these scrim results. We have to wait for an official tournament on LAN to really see where these teams are, especially as we lead into Worlds. So that's where I'll leave that. Will, sorry about that.
All good. Next up, we have the Orlando FFA qualifiers. We'll start with Australia, New Zealand. In fourth place was Scoobmeister. Third was Pandora. Second went to Kanzi, and first went to Ryu. The qualifier for Mexico, fourth place went to Zaron. Third was Duelist. Second, Droxy, and first, Heavenly. For EU, fourth place went to Warlord. Third went to Warrior O'Neal. Second, Blizz, and first, Simply Gambit. And then for North America, we had, in fourth place, Last in Shadow. Third went to Dakota NY. Second went to Bop. And first went to Reverbed. And then we did have the Australia-New Zealand Championship take place.
Yes.
This one is a championship. I'm going to run through all 8 here.
Yep.
So here we go. Just making sure I'm looking at the right graphic. In 8th place.
They had an FFA. So this is the FFA results.
Yep.
And then you have the 4v4 results. Yep.
So yes, the HCS Australia-New Zealand Regional Championship, here's the FFA, took place on, it says,
second through the fourth.
Yep.
Because that was the entire tournament.
I'm used to them putting the month first, and it's just not there.
Shout out Maddie.
All right, here we go. In 8th place went to Bro Jared. 7th, Sam J. 6th, Risku. 5th went to Dramatic. 4th went to Tarnsky. 3rd, Pandora's a Wolf. 2nd, Ritabitty? I had no idea. And first went to Bandit. So
at least Bandit's an easy name to fucking pronounce.
Congrats to Bandit taking home the championship.
Good shit.
And then yes, the HCS Australia-New Zealand Regional Championship. All 8 teams here. So in 7th and 8th was Team Immunity and Digital Nation. 5th, 6th was Vertex and Kitbash. 4th went to Dire Wolves, which again included Vamped, Bald, Jordan, and Zirkle. 3rd went to Divine Mind, Plasma, Rated, Sways, and Pips. 2nd went to Mind Freak, Dino, Ninjestix Jr., and Benji. And then first place went to the Chiefs, which include Beastin, Madsy, Berserk, and Slays. The Chiefs just taking everything lately.
They do. They take everything in that region. But I want to give a special shout out to Mind Freak on taking second there, because clearly Divine Mind were the number 1 seed going into the event. And it didn't fucking matter, because like I personally in my predictions had the Chiefs 1, Divine Mind 2, and then kind of be like a toss up after that, really. But no, I'm happy that Mind Freak were able to knock out Divine Mind there. Unfortunately, they came up short against the Chiefs, but it is what it is. And yeah, it was just really cool to see. But yeah, the Chiefs, there's a lot of questions going into the event of well, the Chiefs don't have barcodes, so how are they going to do? But if you were paying attention to the events leading up to this regional, you would have seen that they didn't need barcode to win. Obviously, having barcode on your team, and I talked to Ninjestics about this, is like, we talked about the barcode factor, right? Mm-hmm. On how when you have him on your squad, I think Ninjestics said that he is like the best player from that region. And when you have a player of that caliber on your team, you're just probably going to win more than likely. But the fact that, no, they didn't really skip a beat. Yes, they did drop a couple games there towards the end of the tournament, but no, they didn't skip a beat when it came to winning. So there's that.
Awesome.
More competitive showing against the Chiefs taking 4 games off them. Absolutely. And that's the other thing too, is that it wasn't just, that was another thing I talked to him about, is that I love the higher competition at the top level in that region, because the more competition we have within each region is just the better for all of competitive Halo in general. It's a problem it's a problem within North American competitive Halo, where I feel like that ceiling, I feel like more teams are now competitive with one another. I mean, you still have Sentinels up there. You have Cloud9, which were previously Splice, basically. Now they're right there too. Optic are pushing, right? And the gap is closing ever so slightly. But the problem here in North America, and really in every region, it kind of seems like, is that you have your top 2 or 3 teams, within your region, and then everyone else is clearly a step or 2 below where the rest of the teams are. And it was really nice to see with this regional event over the weekend that, yes, the Chiefs had some games taken off them, but Divine Mind, Mind Freak, Dire Wolves really pushing themselves as well. That was really cool to see. They didn't get that far, but Vertex did really well in my mind too. I think Ryu on that roster was just popping the fuck off. And that was that motherfucker was dropping like 30 and 40 bombs every time I look. And so no, they have a lot of talent in that region, and it is great to see these teams getting closer and closer. And I hope that this just continues. I mean, you have Kit Bash taking 5th, 6th along with Vertex, and Kit Bash at Scoob, who we've talked about, one of the mouse and keyboard players in that region. And he joked in the interview we did with him where he is technically the only player ever, the only mouse and keyboard player ever to qualify for pool play in a tournament. Any region, doesn't matter. He's technically the only one. So that's kind of funny. But yeah. Also, I thought the Chiefs had only won 1 open between KC and Melbourne. Yeah, but it's just,
that is correct. But if you look at, I'm looking at their placings for the entire HCS world season, so to speak, right? They've taken 10 of the 12 open series that they've been a part of.
And granted, a lot of those were with barcode.
Yes, they were.
But either way, the fact of the matter is, it didn't matter. And it's on LAN too. And as we know, LAN means a lot more and acts a lot differently than an online event does. And yeah, the fact that Divine Mind came in with the first seed for that event, and still the Chiefs won the event and Mind Freak beat them. Divine Mind, that is. So like it's awesome to see. I'm excited to see where the competition goes in that region. Now the only question is, now that the Pittsburgh Knights have been picked up by Space Station, and I'm assuming they're remaining a Mexican team, who's going to step up to the plate and compete with them? Because nobody has yet. That region is just now Space Station, but it was Pittsburgh Knights all the way. Like, nobody could compete with them. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, well.
Yeah.
Should we get into our topic of this week?
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay. The topic of this week's episode is the Halo Infinite roadmap update. There is a Waypoint blog article that you can read. It's very, very, very short, but I'm not going to read through it because it's literally a picture and a video, basically. But instead, that video, which is just over 30 minutes long, I'm going to talk through the points that were made in such video. You can feel free to watch the video if you haven't already. It's linked in the Google Doc of the show notes of the show, ! Show notes in chat. And yeah, this is like the Cliff Notes version of the video, and we'll give our thoughts at the end or during it or whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter to me. Are you ready to go, Will?
Yes, sir.
The members of this video included Sketch, who's the community director, Joseph Staten, the head of creative, and Sean Barron, the head of Halo Infinite live service. That's important because Sean has never been part of one of these videos before. He's been with 343 for, he said he's been with the Halo franchise for like over 10 years or something like that. And he used to work for like the safety team and whatnot, but now he has transitioned into the head of Halo Infinite live service role. Okay. And the reason why that's important is because the bulk of this video had to do with the live service component of Halo Infinite and why things have taken so long to get out the fucking door, so on and so forth. Here we go. The video started with some player experience goals. Okay. And Sean stated the following, quote, "The plan is to make significant progress on all the things listed below by the end of 2023. The goal is to start a new dialogue with the community with fewer promises and more information. While things can change, as this is a live service, this is where we are right now and where we plan to be." End quote. So the number one priority is achieve seasonality. Okay, and that means get our players more of what they want and get it to them faster and with greater consistency. Sean stated 2 seasons a year is not going to cut it. Ideally, we want to have 4 a year, but that will take time. Okay. The next one is infinitely rewarding. Players feel rewarded for playing no matter what they play. And now, again, the plan is to have all of these things worked on by the end of 2023. So these things include match XP, event improvements, career rank, ranked rewards, and seasonal and career challenges. Okay? The next pillar is personal and welcoming. Players feel like they belong and can express their Halo identity in meaningful ways. Ziggler, why the hell did they release an unfinished game? We can talk about that later. We've ad nauseum talked about that. Again, things that this would include is significantly more distinctive and varied customization options, more intuitive and personal playlist options in UI UX, improved player onboarding, player safety and reporting, and avenues for showing off experience and skill and customization. The next pillar was competitive and fair. Players can expect an experience that is competitive and fair. Skill and teamwork should be the path to victory. Improvements include multiplayer gameplay performance and UCN improvements, additional ranked options and matchmaking improvements, server and input matchmaking options, and anti-cheat improvements. And then finally, stable and high quality. Players can expect a smooth, quality experience with few technical flaws. These include stability and performance improvements. Here's what Sean said. We need to make a lot more progress, and it's not going to be at the speed that people want, and that's the way it's going to be. And then he said, we know this is an issue. Emphasis on the no part. Okay?
It kind of feels like a we know, but there's nothing we can do about it.
As of right now, yeah. And then customization experience upgrades and UI UX improvements. And then Sean finally said for this, quote, "This is us trusting and sharing information. This is us trusting that sharing information like this is the right way to go. The goal is to create this dialogue, to show what we're working on, to update this frequently, and to not hide it. We shouldn't hide what we're working on. People need to know what they should be excited for in the future." End quote. Is there anything you want to talk about right there before I move on? Okay. What's on the horizon? So Joe stated, quote, "We've made the difficult decision to not ship campaign split screen co-op and take the resources that we would use on that and go after this list and all the other things we are working on," end quote. So now I'm going to go through a couple quotes because this is where I think there's a silver lining in all of this, because as soon as Joe said that, the headlines went rampant.
Oh, yes, they did.
Like, holy shit. Okay? So from Bonnie Ross in 2017, she stated, We've also had a lot of learnings along the way, Ross said. You know, when we fell down with the multiplayer launch of Halo the Master Chief Collection, or when we didn't put split screen in with Halo 5, I think it's incredibly painful for the community and for us. It erodes trust with the community, and as the community is part of our world building. We had a lot of learnings from that, and I would say for any FPS going forward, we will always have split screen going forward. Okay? That was a direct quote from Bonnie in 2017. Now, from Sketch in 2019, he said the following. We're ecstatic to share the Discover Hope video, which introduces a new character and heralds the return of our iconic hero amidst dire and mysterious circumstances. Like last year's reveal trailer, this latest look at Halo Infinite is powered by our new Slipspace engine, an engine built from the ground up to realize our incredibly ambitious aspirations for the future of the franchise. Oh boy, how times have changed, Will. Which, yes, also includes the long-awaited return of split-screen support to the series. So here's my silver lining. Okay? Joe said, now I am not trying to put words into Joe's mouth. Okay? I didn't ask Joe. I never talked to Joe. This is just me trying to put a different spin on it. Because when I read that, well, when I listened to him and then I typed it out and then I reread it over and over again, he didn't necessarily say that they decided to not ship it forever.
That's true.
We've made the difficult decision to not ship campaign split screen co-op and take the resources that we would use on that and go after this list and all the other things we're working on. So my question is, now all the other things we're working on, maybe that means forever. But here's my silver lining. What if it's not forever? What if they talked about how they need to move slow before they can move fast. What if they're diverting their resources to tackle all the major important shit that they've been working on? And then once everything's stable, hopefully, they're able to divert those resources again, finish it up, and ship it. What's to say they can't?
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say other than it's possible.
That was it.
The example I kind of think of is a little bit is MCC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got all the stuff added into MCC that we never really expected after they got the game semi-fixed, right?
All the shit that's still being added to MCC.
So I know there's other studios involved with MCC, right? But that is a resource they were able to use to get things in the game.
Exactly. And we know that there is a way to put split screen. You can make split screen work right now on a Series S or X console, but it's not necessarily recommended. There are a lot of bugs associated with it, but there is a way to do it. And yeah, I mean, what's to say that a year or two down the line, they don't reassess the situation and be like, you know what? We have the time, we have the resources to do this. Let's finish it up and send it out, because this is something that we did promise. And that's the thing, is that there was a lot of people upset when Joe said that comment in the video, because this was something that had been previously promised. And it's one thing to come out of the woodwork and say that, well, we never said that we were going to do that. We just said it'd be like a nice to have thing, versus, no, you've come out multiple times and promised this. Now we know that Infinite's development has been nothing short of a fucking disaster. But at the same time, they did promise this on multiple occasions. So that's why I'm trying to be like, I'm negative all the time when it comes to this game. As much as I love it, as much as I love this franchise, like I have been very negative, openly negative about the state of Infinite, and I still am not happy about the state of Infinite. Let's be real here. Okay. Not trying to sugarcoat shit. But when I was watching the video for the second time this week, when I was writing out the show notes this week, and all I could go back and think about is what I named the show, what I named the episode this week, and like it's just the same song and dance, you know?
Yeah.
When Tashi came out and said to Courage JD on Twitter, like, we just wait for what we have coming. We're super excited, or blah, blah, blah. And it won't be long. You'll have to wait. And then we get this update. Or when I forgot who else came out of the woodwork and we're like, just wait until we reveal what we've got coming. And then we get this update.
Maybe this wasn't the one.
I have a feeling this was the one. But either way, there is some good to take away from this update that we're just about to get into. Winkler says, when you don't have enough resources, the number of resources they're reallocating is 0. Look, I'm trying, believe it or not, I'm trying to have a slightly more positive spin on something that I've been overtly negative on since the game basically launched. So I know it hurts me too. Okay. But no, I'm going to say it again. Maybe there is a time a couple years down the line where they say that they have enough time and resources now to reallocate to shipping split screen campaign. I'm not saying that for all I know, it could be dead in the water. Like, it could just not ever be coming out. But he didn't necessarily say that it's never coming out. And again, I'm not trying to put words into Joe's mouth, but like, I just find it so odd that it felt like it was shoehorned into that video. Yeah, and the other funny thing is that all these articles that I'm seeing, like from Polygon, from Eurogamer, from GameSpot and all this, I didn't see anybody reach out to Joe for confirmation. None of them did. There wasn't an update or anything to these articles that came out. There was nobody that reached out to Joe, or there was no note in the article that stated we reached out to Joe Satan for further clarification. Nothing. So I don't think they're doing their job, but that's kind of besides the point. It's funny that we live in this world where you hear one thing and people just run with it. Like, we see it so often in media and journalism and whatnot. And obviously it's not everybody, but there are a lot that just hear something, go, ship it. And that's not, like, take a step back, think about things in context, get the full story, then ship it. You know what I mean? Winkler says, all I'm saying is I went to college and I know what it sounds like to tell your professor that you didn't have enough time to finish, really, when you never started. Winkler, are you speaking from experience right now? Winkler. Okay, let's talk about these updates that are coming out for the roadmap. The Halo Infinite Winter Update. Now, this is where positives and also negatives come into play. So the Halo Infinite Winter Update. Yes, it is not Season 3. For a very specific reason. So, November 8th, 2022 to March 7th, 2023. Which, yes, that means, believe it or not, it will have been 10 months between the launch of Season 2 and Season 3. If this stays the same as it is, okay, it will have been 10 months from the launch of Season 2 to the launch of Season 3. But here's the winter update. This will include the Forge beta. So yes, this got pushed from the original roadmap of September to November. Same thing with Campaign Network Co-op and Mission Replay. But Forge, the beta, will have upwards of a 7,000 object allowance, which is up from the 1,600 from Halo 5. That's fucking insane.
That is pretty huge.
Canvases are about 2 times larger on average from previous canvases, which is, again, fucking huge. There will be object scaling and scripting. So yes, scripting, as has been leaked and been rumored for so long, is an actual thing, and you've seen it as well. They talked about like combining different types of weapons together to form a new weapon and whatnot.
Yes.
So on and so forth. That's in there. And then also nav mesh testing. Bots will be able to interact with Forge creations.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's really fucking cool. The Campaign Network Co-op and Mission Replay, there will be new campaign achievements. We talked about that previously. New maps of Detachment and Argyle. Both have been created by 343 Industries using the Forge toolset. So there is some negativity around why the fuck are you guys releasing Forge maps? You guys should be focusing on making your own maps. When really, come on, we all know the reason why they're doing this is because it's supposed to show off what's capable within Forge, because they're using the tool set that you yourself will be able to use when it fully releases in the beta state, obviously, in November. So these two maps, both are arena maps and will be included in matchmaking when the update releases. Argyle has dual grapple shot spawns, and yes, finally, a dual legitimate sniper spawn map. From the competitive aspect of the show, that is what the pros have been asking for quite some fucking time, is a dual sniper map. Well, it's officially happening. Whether or not it becomes in the competitive rotation, that's another question entirely.
We really got to see how it plays.
We have to wait and see how it plays. But the thing that Joe said that I thought was hilarious was that it is not a remake of Epitaph from Halo 3. And personally, in my mind, I said, thank fucking God, because Epitaph sucks. Epitaph is also not a competitive map, but I just don't like Epitaph at all in Halo 3. But I can see the comparisons that people would make when seeing screenshots of Argyle in comparison to Epitaph. And then the final one is Detachment. It is CTF was heavily influenced the design of this map, believe it or not. It includes a teleporter for the first time for a map in Halo Infinite. It includes the Power Island, which is accessible by the teleporter and man cannons. And they call it the Power Island because it has power weapons on it.
Sure, makes sense.
There's the map, and then it has a separated island that can be accessed via the teleporters or man cannons. There you go.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah. There will be a new game mode called Covert One Flag. It's to embrace the fantasy of spies versus mercs. It'll have asymmetrical loadouts, where the attackers will have pulse carbines, sidekicks, and unlimited active camo.
Okay.
And defenders will have commandos, energy swords, and unlimited threat sensors.
Okay.
I want you to tell me who you think would win. 9 times out of 10, who do you think's winning that game? Attackers or defense? Thank you.
Defenders.
Thank you. Thank you. You can't trade with a sword player. Good luck. And it's round-based because that fucking obviously. The Match XP beta is also going to be included in this winter update. And Sean states, while not replacing the challenge system, this will become the main way that you progress through a battle pass. This is meant to reward you for playing Halo the way you want to play it. You'll get XP for the time you were playing, but also how you do, aka wins, performance, etc. Okay?
Okay.
Something we've been waiting for quite some time. Nono says Mercs.
I get the unlimited camo thing, right? But unlimited threat sensors, does that reveals camo? So
yeah,
that's why you get them.
And you have sword.
Just camp the flag.
I guess the only thing, what you could do is like use the pulse carbine, obviously, and then you use drop weapon. You fish them off with a pistol. But no, you have fucking swords, dude. Good luck. Good luck.
But if you can sneak and backsmack.
But seriously, all you have to do is just ping, 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 ping.
Can you pick up their swords?
Ooh, I bet if you kill them, yeah, absolutely. I bet.
Run around with camo and sword?
I'm guaranteed. Diligent says the second map of the winter update looks like Harvest, a BTB map in Halo 4. I'm hopeful it's not as large, so it's more 4v4. Diligent, I think both of them are 4v4 maps. I think both of the Forge maps are 4v4 maps. It's the season 3 maps. One is 4v4 and one is BTB. If I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken, though, but I truly think that that's what that is. But regardless, welcome to the live show. Also, welcome back, Nono. So there's a 30 tier. There is a 30 tier free battle pass. And Sean states, this pass is free. Now, here's some fucking typical PR bullshit. Sean, I'm not trying to throw shade at you, but like, come on, man. He says, this pass is free because we wanted to say thank you to our players. No, this is the real reason, and he reiterated. And also, we didn't want players to pay for a pass while we were tuning how the Match XP system is going to work. We want players to be able to move through battle passes faster. So yeah, I guess thank you for the fucking handout, but like at the same time, no. And now this this free battle pass includes the Mark V core, which is cool. Excited for that. And includes customization items from Reach that were previously not present. So yeah, the ones that were missing, they're finally back. What's up, Collect? Welcome back. Good to see you, man. there's a December event of it's called Winter Contingency 2. And then apparently, now this was not included in the roadmap screenshot in the article, but one of them in that video said that there's also going to be a January event. They didn't name it, but they said that there will be a January event as well. And then, of course, it'll include quality of life improvements. So to reiterate, in the winter update that is coming November 8th, 2022, as long as everything fucking stays the way it is right now, the Forge beta, campaign network co-op and mission replay, new maps of Detachment and Argyle, new game mode of Covert One Flag, Match XP beta, 30-tier free battle pass, December event of Winter Contingency 2, potentially a January event, and quality of life improvements. Okay? So all things considered, there are some good things in there. Okay? There are some good things in there. But yes, when it comes to the disappointment side of things, it does fucking suck that we're waiting another 3 months. Well, 2 months, another 2 months for this to come out. Okay? So there's that. What's up, Mara? What's up, Pancakes? Welcome back, guys. Let's move into Infinite Season 3, which is going to be called Echoes Within. Now, before I get into what Sean said, I want to talk briefly about what Joe said, because I thought this was fucking hilarious. I didn't include it in the show notes because I wasn't even going to touch on this, but I'm like, oh, fuck it, why not? He talks about how they want this to be a continuation of the narrative that they've been making within Halo Infinite's multiplayer. I shit you not. I'm in the car. I have this video downloaded on my phone because my wife and I have to run to the bank to sign some paperwork. Okay?
Sure.
So I have the video downloaded on my phone and I have it playing through my car speakers that we're driving to the bank. Okay? Joe says that statement. I literally said out loud, what fucking narrative are you talking about? And that was that.
The only narrative was from Last Spartan Standing, right?
Right. Well, no, because they also have like a brief, very, very brief intro and outro cutscene for the other event that came out, if I'm not mistaken. But Joe could also be talking about like the blog narrative that's been put out on Waypoint, but like in terms of actually in the game itself, there's nothing fucking there. So hopefully I'd expect you to have something good coming.
Overall, it's like you go to the Spartan Academy.
Yeah.
And then you get sent on this mission, this solo mission for Lone Wolves. And that's been about it. Mm-hmm. So is it going to relate probably back to the Spartan Academy and what you're doing out there? That's what I would think it would be.
He said that it follows like the same, like when you got the AI, the banished AI and whatnot, it's going to continue that.
Okay.
So Sean said for Season 3, players should think of this season as the beginning of what seasonality is. We should start getting to the goal of 13-week seasons. Not saying this is a 13-week season, because guess what? It's not. Like if you look at it, it's not. It's like 15 weeks. What are we going to have from a content perspective? What are we going to have from a fixes perspective? What are we going to have from a narrative perspective? This season is going to have all the meat on the bones. End quote. Okay? So this season, Season 3, is a big one.
Okay.
Again, March 7th, 2023 to June 27th, 2023. So just like I said, I think it's like 15 weeks if the roadmap stays the same. New maps, one for Arena and another for BTB. The names are not being revealed yet, but the BTB map is one of the biggest they've made and embraces vehicular combat with big, wide open spaces. In other words, get me the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I'm not my thing. Definitely not my thing.
No. And then the Arena map is on an Oni black site built into an icebound mountaintop. It's asymmetrical.
Okay.
And has a gravity launcher that takes players all the way across the map.
Why?
Why not? I think Joe said risk versus reward. You know what it reminds me of? The Halo 3 map that they added. Is it Icebox? Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of Icebox in terms of like having the gravity launcher that takes players all the way across the map. And then also there's a Halo 4 map. I know, oh my God, he's mentioning Halo 4 again. Shut this shit down. There's a Halo 4 map. I already forgot the name of it because, of course. But it had launchers that would take you like all the way across the way. So,
okay.
There's that.
Okay.
There are new game modes of VIP and escalation because, you know.
So gun game and protect.
Yeah, over a year. You know.
Saltiness is coming out.
Oh, yeah. There's the new weapon of the M392 Bandit. And it's supposed to feel like the Reach DMR, but it ain't that fucking gun. So don't think that it is. It's with emphasis on close range by the removal of the scope, and you cannot be descoped while shooting. So you can still use Smart Link. Like you can still you zoom in with the sidekick. You know?
Yeah.
You just still do the same thing with the Bandit. But
it's not scoped.
It's not the fucking DMR. Yes! Woo! Oh, baby, I'm so happy.
Okay.
Oh, I will die on this hill, and I know there's so many players out there who cannot stand the BR being the starting weapon in competitive, but man, do I love it. And if I can get as far away as possible. Now, I'm not saying the Bandit can't become the starting weapon, but I mean, now that there's an emphasis on close range, fuck yeah.
I wonder if they're going to lobby for the Bandit to take place of the Mangler, but it depends on how effective it is.
Well, I mean, if we just believe it or not, I agree with Spartan on this take, is that why not just, replace with the sidekick?
Right.
Just say fuck it.
Yeah.
It'd be the easiest switch possible in my mind. Because it's fine if it spawns up frequently, because then people will be able to use it more frequently, and it's not nearly as powerful as Mangler. So,
I could see like some of the commando spots being taken by the Bandit.
Yeah.
If possible.
Oh yeah.
That could be something.
That could be something. There's a new equipment of the Shroud screen. So yes, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, these leaks are fucking real, obviously. It enables area denial. It does not block grenades and projectiles. Okay? You cannot see outside of it when you are in it, and you cannot see in it when you're out of it.
For those who have played Valorant, it's literally like a Valorant smoke.
There you go. Players inside the screen do not show up on radar even when shooting. Okay?
Okay.
And it comes with 2 charges and can hold a maximum of 4. I do not know. I don't believe Joe said how long they last when it's placed on the ground. But you get 2 charges when you pick it up, and you can hold a maximum of 4. There is a new 100 tier battle pass. Sean says this is going to be taking all the data learned from the winter update to better move players through the battle pass quicker. And customization items will be based on the SPI armor core, which again is going to be new. There will be a new fracture event, new narrative event, custom game browser. Yes, custom game browser is coming November to December, January, February, March. 4 months after Forge Beta releases, if the timeline holds true. There will be Forge Beta updates, in-game reporting. I know. Finally. And, of course, quality of life improvements. There you go. That's the roadmap update. It'll be 10 months between the release of seasons 2 and 3. We are getting an update in between them with the release of the Forge Beta, Campaign Network Co-op, couple Forge maps. There is some good stuff in there. Personally, really excited for the Match XP beta. I think that's been a long time fucking coming. Obviously, I believe it should have been in the game from when the game launched, but here we are now. It's again, we can't dwell on the past. Will, what are your thoughts?
Oh man, the extended time really does suck. I'm just gonna. It
hurts.
Waiting for more. All this extra content, it's cool. It's great, but for me, if the network shit keeps going on and I can't enjoy playing the game because I'm dying around walls, things like that, ping popping all over the place. I went. I got in a game, I was like, 20 ping, and then like all of a sudden I'm still stuttering through it and lagging, like what the someone, so someone's causing that on the map, and then my ping jumps, and it's like, oh, okay, something's going on here. Really just takes you out of the experience of playing. So if that stuff's fixed, all this stuff is great. But if you can't fix the base of it, it's gonna bring all this down.
Yep.
That's kind of where I'm at.
I couldn't agree more with you. That's my problem too, is that, again, I'm not trying to be, I've been negative so much about this game ever since its release. Like I'll message Justin and bitch about the game every now and again too. It's like, it's just, there's so many things to complain about. And that's why I said consistently earlier is that, guys, just because Forge is coming out, it's not going to fix the game. Like, yeah, it's going to be really, really cool to see what people make. Don't get me wrong. And I'm super excited to see what people make.
Oh, yeah.
No shit. I have a coworker who literally like stepped away for a long time. Was really into the competitive Halo scene, as a matter of fact, back in the heyday, right?
Sure. And
we were talking we had a barbecue, and we were sitting there and we were talking to each other, and we got on the topic of Halo, and he even said that he was excited for Forge because he wants to make competitive maps. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. I want people to be excited for these things. I really do. But it's not going to fix the game. There's so many underlying systems that are just broken about the title. Just fucking broken. Like, and I said it, I think I said it in Discord too. Like, does desync exist in other titles? More than likely, yes. Probably. Yes, whatever it is. Whatever answer is not no. You know what I mean? But do I feel it as bad in those titles that I do in Infinite? Fuck no. I feel it's so much worse in this game. It's unfucking believable. Like, and that's the thing too, is that it doesn't even care about my connection to the server. Like, I could have the best internet in the world. It doesn't fucking matter. I could be on my screen because it's not what they see. It's what based off what I see. If I am 2 feet around a corner behind a wall and I still get killed, how is that not frustrating? And it happens so frequently that every single time it happens, I'm like, there's another instance of it. Fuck this. I fucking hate this. Every single time.
Yeah, I felt really bad because I was playing last night or the night before, and Prof messaged me. He's like, oh, you playing ranked? I stopped playing. I was in ranked.
Yep.
I stopped. I messaged him. I'm like, this is my last game. I'm tilted. And it like just sucks because like I would have loved to stay on and played with a friend.
Right.
But the game is making me like, I don't know, just be frustrated with it. But for content wise, right?
Yeah.
I kind of agree with what Beth says here. And she states the biggest downer for me, that massive gap between seasons. Right. Aside from that, I felt like it was a pretty good update. Keep in mind, this is from someone who doesn't play campaign. So the campaign cancellation delay was a non-issue for me. I played through it once. That's kind of like, I'm in that boat. I experienced it. I'm done with it. So.
And Joe did say that, like, early on within the video, he said that there are things that they're working on that they can't talk about, which makes me believe, again, not trying to put words into Joe's mouth. It's just from a speculation standpoint. We always speculated since the day Infinite was announced as a 10-year plan. We always speculated that campaign DLC would be on the way in whatever shape or form that would take. So while I bet he is also talking about multiplayer stuff, I would assume, this is me assuming here, that there would be a campaign DLC component along the way, whatever that may be. Winkler says, to be fair, there's no other game that I play which I know well enough to have enough scrutiny to tell if what happened wasn't supposed to. And that's the thing. Like, we've played FPSs up the wazoo, right? I mean, we maybe consistently isn't the right word, but like, we play Apex. I've dibble-dabbled back into Fortnite. And I know a lot of people that play Warzone. Like, I know I'm talking about BRs in this instance, but like, I mean, people that play Call of Duty, whatever it may be. I just feel that the desync, the ping issues, the unstable packet loss, that would be received so often in Infinite. I would never experience it that bad in any other FPS that I play.
The only desync game I remember, PUBG got really bad for a little while.
Okay.
Rainbow Six has a little bit of it too, but there's always like in any PC game, there's always a thing, peeker's advantage, right?
Yeah.
But it seems like with Halo, like sometimes if you're like jiggling a wall, like that game thinks you're going to go do, and then you're like, oh wait, he's back here. And you get someone sees that you're out of the wall more than you really are. That desync can't handle it.
Right. It's just, like I said, I feel like I don't experience it in any other title as much as I do in Infinite. And it's so distracting and detracting from the experience that I'm trying to have, because believe it or not, I'm just trying to have fun in the fucking game. And my problem is that in this, I'm not trying to shit on the devs. And that's another thing too. I'm going to make my point in a second, but I need to say this for anybody that's out there. And I know that we have great people in this community. For anybody out there that's saying that these people should be fired, that all of 343 need to be let go and blah, 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 you need to go fuck yourself and you need to think about your situation. Because guys, yes, believe it or not, this is still a video game. Okay. This is still a video game that you play for leisure, and for some players you play as job, which I feel more strongly towards. But these developers, these producers, these artists, all these folks have lives. They might have families. They might have children outside of the game. Do I wish that this game was in a much better state than it is right now? Duh. And I was talking to Justin. I don't think this game would have been 100% even if it was delayed another year.
Because if it got delayed again, we wouldn't have even known about some of the issues that didn't come up until we got our hands on it.
Right. And like I said, I still don't think it would have been good or great even by the time another year had passed. So we have to deal with what we've been given now.
The one thing I want to say about developers too, before you move on. It's sometimes not the developers too who have a say in what's going on.
Right.
It is kind of the studio heads, right?
Right.
What's coming down from Microsoft, what's being pushed. A developer can work their ass off on something, but then the leads take it in a different direction, you know? And then you have to rework, or I don't exactly know how it all works, right? I'm not a developer myself.
Sure.
But it just seems like the devs get a lot of hate for sometimes. I feel like they're just doing everything they can, right?
Right.
With what they have and what they've been given.
So Skiller says, in the end, it's a product. If a company makes a shitty product as a consumer, I should be allowed to say the studio should clean house. I mean, no one's saying you can't say that. I'm just going to objectively say you're wrong. And you can agree or disagree with that statement. That's fine. Also, thanks for the follow. But regardless, yes, it's a product. It's a fucking video game. But at the same time, while you can say that they should clean house, objectively speaking, that's not the appropriate way to go about it. Are there probably some bad seeds in that company? Yeah. There's bad seeds in every company. Let's be real here. I don't think they should clean house. I think that Joe coming in, I will agree with the folks that say that leadership need to be looked at. That's where I'll agree. Because clearly, I mean, after Joe came back, that was to me the turning point of, okay, Joe's back. They're starting to get the wheels back on track. Go ahead.
From all the reports before Joe came back, like I think it was Joe, when Joe came back, it sounded like the scope was so large.
Yeah.
That when he came back, it got refined and focused so that they could get a game out on time.
And even Joe said it was said that Joe went to the execs and were like, we cannot ship this right now. Mm-hmm. We cannot. Because think about that. Like, if we would have gotten the product that we did, I mean, if we would have gotten a product that Joe said we should not have gotten and Joe didn't approve of it. I'm not saying Joe, like, people think that Joe is some all fucking savior. He's not. He's just a dude, but he knows what he's talking about. Joe coming in, I'm not saying saving the game because the game hasn't been saved yet. Let's be real here. There's still a lot of fucking work that needs to be done. But I will say that Joe coming back, to me, it felt like a change in the tide, if you will. Where, okay, we have this veteran presence who's been around forever. He's back in the seat, back in the saddle, taking the reins. We trust him and his vision. He trusts his teams. Let's see where this goes. But again, Skillers, coming back on your comment, I do believe that upper management should be looked at. I see a lot of the stuff talked about with Bonnie. I'm not going to sit here and say that I want people's heads, I want people's jobs gone, because literally people's lives, like livelihoods, are at stake here. Let's be fucking real. But at the same time, when you have a track record, that's the thing. That's the thing to me. When you have a track record of inconsistency, when you have a track record of releasing bad stuff, bad products, right, in this case, then yeah, something should be said. There's always a common denominator in that place, right? And to me, as of right now, that's Bonnie and maybe some other leadership as well. Something should be taken a look at there. Pancake says, the dev at 343 love Halo. They want the game to be good. People have to realize that the studio is part of a much larger company and things are not always in their control. It's just how it is at every corporation. Yes. You were correct, Pancakes. Yes. The devs at 343, the artists, the producers, the QAs, everybody that works on the core title loves that game, or at least I would hope that they love that game, or else I don't want them there. I want them to find something that they do love and work on that. It's just, at the end of the day, business is business. I saw a headline that came out that was like, the Microsoft execs or the Xbox execs wanted Fable to be shown, or released, or whatever the fuck it was, the new Fable, and the Fable devs were like, no, it's not ready. And I'm like, yes, that's just a headline, but we know what Joe has done in preventing a game from being released when it wasn't ready. Now, do we think that Halo Infinite is ready right now? No. I still, like, yes, it has some content, but I still don't believe that Halo Infinite was ready for prime time. I don't. I think the campaign is fine. The campaign is there. I think, I said this in Discord too, I believe the campaign would have been better if it was a linear experience, because the open world is so bland. It's devoid of any personality. There isn't anything to do in it. There's nobody to talk to. There's nothing to interact with. Yes, there's some Easter eggs, which is cool. Don't get me wrong. But it doesn't feel like an open, breathing, interactable world. And that's my problem, is that I just need, like, yeah, it's fine, we got what we got, but the multiplayer is just in such a sorry state on back-end processes that it's insane. Nono says, Joe said, I think we need 1 year and need to cut 2/3 of the campaign. I mean, yeah, it only makes sense. Brick says, do you think future Halo games will be made? Yeah, absolutely. It's too big of a franchise. It's too big of a moneymaker. Briggs, believe it or not, man, like, the franchise makes a shit ton of money. Okay? Not just in terms of the games. You have the books. You have the comics. You have the collectibles. You have the TV show. Like, Halo as a conglomerate, as a franchise, makes a shit ton of money. So yeah, they're absolutely going to make more games. 1,000%. And then Briggs also asked her to answer your joking question about excited about the SSG overhaul. Yeah. I feel bad for Collect, obviously, and Suppressed for that matter, but yeah. Winkler says, if you consider that Infinite was barely a game when it was shown in 2020, and then in reality we're playing a live beta, I think people will be more understanding. Clearly, the 6 years since Halo 5 were not spent wisely. Agreed with that. And they're playing catch up now. So I don't think the current development team is to blame for the state it is in today. It's still in its infancy. Winkler probably could not have said that better myself.
Pretty good.
Yep, hit the nail on the fucking head. So no, Skillers, I don't believe that they should clean house. I don't. I think that upper management should be looked at because they have a proven track record of releasing broken products. You have Halo 5 and the sorry state of multiple issues of that game. You have Halo 4 and, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I mean, from a casual perspective, the multiplayer is pretty all right. But the story was lackluster, whatever it may be. MCC was literally broken. Like when MCC launched, it was literally broken. And then you have Infinite, which again was not content complete and broken, which is awesome. So yes, like the title of this episode suggests, there is infinite disappointment. But at the same time, if I'm going to bring this back into a semi-positive note, there are some cool things that are coming down the pipeline that I am excited for. And as we've heard, those that work on the game do love the game, do love the franchise that they work with. And all I can hope is that they put out the product that they are most happy about. That's all I can hope for. Pancake says Halo's going to blow up. I feel like they're heading in a good direction. I've always been optimistic, but I actually feel good about this. Just hoping the updates will bring what they said. And then Briggs says, I feel like there needs to be some Halo convention to reignite trust between the developer and the community. So, Briggs, it's funny you mentioned that too, because the Halo World Championship is supposed to be that Halo Fest, like Halo Outpost Discovery was, where, I imagine that Outpost may happen at some point down the line, but the Halo World Championship this year is literally called like a Halo Fest, where there will be things for the campaign lovers, for the casual lovers, for the competitive lovers. Obviously, it's a World Championship, all together in one to bring people of all facets of the community together to celebrate the franchise, to celebrate Halo, what we love about it, the communities, so on and so forth. And yeah, you guys know, if you guys listen to the show, you know that we're not going to beat around the bush on shit. Like, we're going to be real. We're going to talk about our honest opinions on stuff. And yes, the back end shit about Infinite is bad. It's very, very bad. And we see pros basically every day on Twitter being like, how come no one said anything about this yet internally? And they'll at Unishek, they'll at Sketch, they'll at whoever it may be, they'll at Tashi sometimes, even though he has no control over it. And because they just want to know what's going on. And they're not even asking, like, when is this going to be fixed? They're literally asking, has anyone seen this yet?
Yeah. Is it acknowledged?
Yes. Is it being worked on? That's all they want to know. That's all we want to know. It's so bad. Like the fucking, was it the Snakebite screenshot where he had over 20,000 ping?
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Like, now that's an outlier situation. Don't get me wrong. Like, it doesn't happen to everybody in every single game, but like that's crazy. Or the amount of times that I see pro players getting unstable packet loss. Now, in my personal experience, and granted, I don't play Infinite every day, but in my personal experience, I've never seen that happen to me. I've never seen unstable packet loss happen before. But I see in all these streams that I'm watching, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? It's so bad that teams are quitting scrims early. These connections are so bad.
Tippable.
Oh God, thank you. Thank you so much for that bullshit.
You're welcome.
We saw at the what the fuck was it? We saw it at the North American Super, where all these teams moved down to Texas to compete, to get as close to the server as they could. And there were still issues. Like, it just doesn't matter. The game's background systems are just so bad. It's unbelievable. So yes, while I am very, very excited for a lot of these things coming down the pipeline in the winter update in November, in season 3 in March. Things I'm genuinely excited about. I still keep in the back of my mind that none of these things that are coming are going to make those background processes better until they fix those.
And, you know, they're talking in that article about season 3 really being
seasonality.
The
start of seasonality.
If they're hoping that that's when things are really going to kick off, I just, like you said, the background processes need to be fixed. And that's what I'm hoping the updates bring. Mm-hmm. And season 3, it really is that giant kicking off point that maybe brings Halo back into the spotlight, be like, oh, it's so good now, you know? And we have more people come back to the game because we definitely need it. See here. Briggs says, I wonder what other gaming companies are doing to avoid similar problems in the future. I think it's all planning, right? You got to plan for planning, testing, all this stuff. Taking the proper amount of time, right? To get things sorted properly.
And he says, Infinite will be a textbook case of what to avoid in game development. I think a lot of studios have textbooks on what to avoid. It's just whether or not they do it, you know? I think Halo Infinite's a test case of too many hands in the cookie jar. I feel like they didn't have a cohesive vision on what they wanted to do, and they didn't have the time to do it. And that's why I say when Joe came in, it felt like the tides were turning to a point where let's strip this shit fucking back. Like, I get it. You guys are probably working on some amazing stuff that would have been probably cool. But at the same time, we have deadlines to reach. And they were very, very late in delivering what we even got in the first place. So.
Okay. Nono says not building their own engine. That could have been a problem.
Well, the funny thing is that okay. I don't want to sound too wrong here, but again, correct me if I'm wrong, folks, that they said that the Slipspace engine was built from the ground up. And I think it was learned after the fact that it wasn't. It's a modified version of what they used for Halo 5. So, and we already know how well that went. At least heavy aim's not a thing.
That's a plus. Do you think, so from Briggs, if the pandemic didn't happen, would these problems be as prominent?
Maybe not.
I don't know. There's something to be said about that, though, because being in the studio, having cohesive thoughts, getting everyone on the same page is a big thing in development.
It's huge.
I feel like.
Absolutely huge. But at the same time, if I'm really going to do this right now, if we're going to
people can be more productive from home.
Look at Bungie.
It was shown.
Look at Bungie.
Yeah.
Look at the content that they've been able to put out while having a hybrid work schedule or just working from home in general. They've literally launched Witch Queen in a pandemic. Now, granted, they had, for what it's worth, I'll say this, for what it's worth, they had a foundation for a long time with Destiny 2. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, they fully made that in a pandemic and released it, and there weren't issues. There's something to be said. Every development studio, every team had different barriers to get through, different walls to get over, different hurdles to jump over, whatever it may be. Every studio is different. Do not get me wrong. But Infinite, oh man. Nono says it was built from the ground up, yes, but the structure and feature set were brought from the Halo 5 engine, but rewritten. Okay, well, there's that answer. If the pandemic did not happen, would these problems be as prominent? As prominent? No. Still existing? Yes.
That's fair.
Yeah. I will say that if the pandemic did not happen and Joe did not come in, I think the game would be worse off.
Interesting.
Yeah. I do. And like I said, I don't think he's some messiah or anything like that, but like I do think that Joe righted the wrongs of the ship. And he's now trying to steer the ship in the right direction. We're trying to avoid a Titanic situation.
Gotcha.
I genuinely think that's what Joe is doing. As being that presence within the studio. He is doing what Chris Lee was unable to do. And I'm sorry to name drop, but like if you look at all the previous news about that studio, the writing was on the wall about Chris, and it just was not it. So there's that. And then Pancakes joked about Anthem. And I was super excited about that game. Will can attest to that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I got fucking burned real hard about that one. Talk about having wrong predictions. Who, boy, was I wrong about Anthem.
Well, everyone was kind of pumped for it, and it just didn't deliver.
Yeah, it was BioWare's next epic RPG. What was there not? And you could be Iron Man. Like, what was there not to be excited about with that fucking game? And then they released it, and we're like, oh, no. There's no game here. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Game was awful. That game had a really cool, like, quote unquote foundation, but like, well, that game's awful.
Right. I think I'm good on the topic. Any last or final thoughts you want to put in before we move on?
Hopium and copium shit aside, do I think Halo Infinite will be better a year from now? 2 years from now? Yes. Does it suck having to wait this long? Without a doubt. Do I think we should have waited this long? No. But we have to. And I think anybody, and I repeat it again, I think anybody that is going at the devs' throats about all this stuff, you need to shut the fuck up, reevaluate your own personal life and situation, and grow the fuck up. Seeing all the comments on Reddit, seeing all the comments on Twitter, just stop it. You're acting like a fucking child. And for all I know, you are one. What?
Nothing. I was agreeing with what you were saying there.
Yeah. But no, stop acting like children. Grow the fuck up. Realize that there are literal lives behind the scenes that create the experiences that you play. The experience may not be great. Okay. Let's be real. But there are real lives behind those screens that are making this. And yeah, I'll fucking say it. I don't think you can do better. So there you go. I'm excited about some things, but I know they're not going to fix the underlying issues of the game, and I hope those underlying issues get fixed. It's time for the regular news. Halo Gear back to school sale is happening right now. This is by Halo Gear. You can go check it out. Get some shit if you want. It's on sale. The Yappening Halo Infinite event has been announced and is now live as well. The Yappening has arrived and has ushered in utter mayhem. Mayhem.
I'm here.
Play Methane Menagerie to unlock new cosmetics and experience new game modes from now until September 20th. I've seen a couple comments in the Discord about being excited about this event because it's goofy, it's wacky, it's cool. Let me just say what this event is. And then for the folks listening, for the folks watching at home, Will, yourself as well, let me ask you if you think this is cool or not. Fiesta. BTB. What do you think, Will?
I'm not excited about it. It's not my thing.
It's not my thing either. That was
but I just saw a banana charm.
There is a banana charm, which is your shit.
I need it.
He needs it. Luckily, it's a free pass, and it's going for 2 weeks, Will.
Challenges, huh?
Yep. And I will say, this week's weekly reward is fucking awesome, too.
Oh, is it? I haven't checked.
Go to Halo's Twitter account.
BTB Shoddy Snipes, huh?
Yeah, so there's also additional game variants for BTB. But yeah, you can earn some wacky cosmetics. You can buy some premium cosmetics in the store. There's that.
The HCS skins and now more premium cosmetics in the store.
Hot damn, spend your money today. Mara says, the Halo community will have to hold itself together and wait as long as it's needed. It sucks having to wait, but it's where we are right now. One day we'll get the full story on what the hell was going on in 6 years in Halo Infinite being developed, and sorry, wrote slow. It's all good, man. Don't worry about it. You can always come back. Value your opinion. And then, of course, the August MCC update is live. This is by Alex Wakeford, and here's the bullet-pointed version. 5 new Spartan Armor sets for Halo 2 Anniversary, the Golden MOA campaign collectibles in Halo 3 ODST and Halo Reach, Acrophobia and Bandana Skulls have been added to Halo Reach, main menu background video customization. Hell yeah. Why I was excited about that, I don't even fucking know. New Forge options in Halo Reach 4 and 2 Anniversary. Career menu UI overhaul, post-match poses, because God forbid we need more customization options in that game. Unified subtitle improvements, live playlist hopper data refresh at weekly reset, season naming change to series, and bug fixes, of course. That's it for the regular news. Car Games Watch! The Seattle Surge have announced their roster. Will.
They have.
It's accuracy. The veteran is staying on the squad. Mac, Pred, and Sib are going to be on that roster.
Okay.
As well. And yes, Briggs, I know about that, but now it's official. So there you go. And then this I thought was kind of shitty, but also understandable. Important announcement from 1047 Games about the future of Splitgate. Again, this is by Splitgate. They say, to our Splitgate fans, we cannot be here without your support. We pride ourselves on trying to be as community-focused as possible. We strive to improve our game and build a better future for Splitgate because of the enthusiasm of our fans. Thank you. Splitgate achieved a level of success that we could not have anticipated, and that few indie games are fortunate to reach. That initial success brought an opportunity to turn what started as a college dorm dream project into a AAA game that could stand toe-to-toe with shooters from the biggest publishers in the industry. But this also meant that as we've brought on top-tier talent from across the industry, we've spent a lot of our time trying to rework old content and systems that were originally built by a handful of people. We are, in a way, bailing water while also trying to keep everyone who bought a ticket to board our ship happy, while also trying to turn our boat into a rocket ship. After careful consideration and much deliberation, the 1047 Games team has determined that in order to build the game fans deserve and to build it in a way that wasn't trying to retrofit and live operate an existing product, we are ending feature development of Splitgate. We're turning our attention away from iterative, smaller updates and going all in to focus on a new game in the Splitgate universe, which will present revolutionary, not evolutionary, changes to our game. It'll be a shooter. It will have portals. And it'll be built in Unreal Engine 5. Oh, and it'll be free. We understand many of you will be disappointed and have a lot of questions. We want to be clear that Splitgate will remain online, as will your items and progression. In fact, we'll roll out a new battle pass on September 15th, and it'll be free to everyone as a thank you for playing Splitgate. Game support will continue, and there will be smaller updates and fixes to Splitgate, but the bulk of our focus will be on the entirely new shooter that we can't wait to share with you. This is a see you soon, and not a farewell. The 1047 Games team.
It's at least good that they're focusing on a new game and not just taking everything and leaving, so to speak.
Yeah, they're not going away.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that. But yes, it does kind of suck to see Splitgate go. They did have a nice come up in the esports scene as well.
They did.
So here's hoping that their next title is even better, bigger, stronger than ever. And that's it for Caught on the Games Watch, which means it's time for Will's Adventures with an Aliens and other games too. I should try to get progressively more spooky
as we get towards October.
Yeah, as we get towards Halloween. Do it for 2 months fucking straight. Will, what'd you play over the last week?
I got my challenges done in Halo Infinite, and I played some solo duo rank and almost... Well, I did technically break a controller, but not from playing. It just broke.
But you said you got a new one.
So yeah, I got a new one.
What new one did you get?
I went with the Elite Series 2 again because I loved it.
Okay.
The buttons seem to be more out of it now. They're not as when I press the start button, it's higher. It's more tactile.
Oh, okay. That's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it feels different than because I got one pretty soon after they released. I think.
Sure.
It feels like maybe something changed.
Maybe Maybe it was a QC improvement. Who knows?
Or maybe I just beat the shit out of my controllers. My buttons were all mashed in. But,
I mean, as would be known, I think you do that too. So
both
things can be the same.
We're in fucking Kansas City.
Yeah.
You and Dave are chilling in the living room. I'm playing some Infinite and I'm meleeing people and you guys are making fun of me because my trigger.
Oh yeah, how squeaky that shit was.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could audibly hear it in the room. Like you could audibly hear it in the room. Across the room. You could hear his fucking trigger. Like dude's making fucking bed thrusting sounds with his trigger. Like it's insane. Just fucking, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Think about your parents having sex in the bedroom, right? What? And just you're in your room and you just hear and that's fucking Will's trigger.
Wonderful. So yeah, I finally got a new controller.
Hell yeah.
And
did the trigger squeak?
No, not yet.
Thank God. Not yet. Keyword. Keyword yet. Yep. Good shit. All right.
But that's all I played was Halo. Oh, wait.
Oh.
I had a Rock Band session.
Nice.
Sang my heart out. It was fun.
Any notable songs?
Oh gosh.
Notable favorites?
I picked some random ones at first. I don't really remember which ones I played.
Briggs says, did the sound get quicker?
Oh, we could shoot so fast, all right? Oh, fuck. But I did a whole Billy Joel set. Like I played like 5 or 6 songs of Billy Joel, which I thought was just fun. I did some Uptown Girl, Piano Man,
great song.
Big Shot. Yeah, it was fun.
You're a rich girl. What's up?
Rage in chat.
I was getting ready to read that fucking wall of a statement.
It's always a little bit of text from Rage.
Rage with the 25-month resub says, "Oh damn, it's the quarter mark. This is quite the milestone, and it's such a clean number. Halo will be 25 years old in a few years. And I swear to God, if Infinite isn't fleshed out and amazing by then, I might have to do something extremely drastic for my sanity, like give Call of Duty another shot, or even worse, Destiny 2. Please don't make me do this. Just make the game good, please. Praise Microsoft. They're always watching." Brian, thank you so much for the resub. You get a woo! Also, hey, dude, the Destiny 2 waters are fine. Come on in. It's a fun time. There's always other games to play. And also, Call of Duty is going to be free on Game Pass. Well, I shouldn't have said free. It's going to be on Game Pass. Eventually. Maddie, there he is. Maddie, we poured one out for you earlier on your shitty day that you were having, so I apologize that you're having such a bad day. I hope everything turns around for you. And he says, I drank the Destiny Kool-Aid. It's a fun time, man. It's funny because
it's fun until you run out of shit to do.
Oh, Maddie's never going to have anything to run out of. It's funny because like Dave was getting groups made in our Discord for Destiny, and Maddie, like Dave said that they're running Dares of Eternity.
Dares of Eternity.
And Maddie's like, what's that? This is never heard of Dares, which is fine. Like, I'm not blaming you. Like, there's so many things that in that game that a lot of people have never dabbled with or heard of or experienced, whatever it may be. But yeah, I'm glad you're drinking the Kool-Aid. Destiny 2 bored me into the ground on 2 separate occasions, but lost their goodwill. I can definitely understand that. Hence why I typically only play when there's new content to play. I'm done with my D1 days of like, this was it. Like, this is all I'm playing forever. This is the greatest thing ever. I'm grinding everything. Fucking, I'm fine with doing strikes 50 times in a row. Like, I'm not doing that anymore. I have other things to do. So I just play when new content's out. Speaking of Destiny 2, I played that last week.
Yeah.
New content. Yeah, the new season. Yeah. There's a weekly refresh, which means a new story mission comes out, and play that. And I mean, not mission, whatever. Like, yeah. So I play that for the weekly stuff. A couple hours each week, not bad. I also played some Halo Infinite, and I just helped Justin with his challenges. And believe it or not, I actually had a good night on that game.
Nice.
It was way better than the night previous.
I had a lot of BS challenges this week.
Yeah.
You know, like 10,000 score in Rumble Pit.
Ugh.
Kill 20 enemies in Rumble Pit I got done in my first match, which I felt pretty good about. But, you know.
There you go.
But the challenges do make you play a different way. I'll just say that because I got a lot of the oddball Rumble Pits. I'm like, perfect. I don't have to play the objective. I can just wait and kill people.
Yep.
That's, yeah. I didn't get any ball time, but I got my score from the kills.
That's another reason why I hate challenges. Woo! But hey, Match XP beta is coming.
Excited for that.
Very, very excited for that. Marsa's Destiny 2 honestly is getting good with their storytelling. I'm pretty hooked on that and the lore. I will say that the most recent season that just released, the story is not it. But the one previous was phenomenal. So I only expect things to get better because that is one of their goals. And that's the thing too. Talk about a company, and I'm not trying to throw shade at Halo right now. But like talk about a developer who says what their focus is and does act on it. And to me, that is Bungie. It took them a long time to get there, which probably means Halo's going to take a long time to get there too, but they are completely different, whatever. But no, they've hit their stride. So very happy about that. And then also, I am one of the suckers that bought The Last of Us Part 1, which is the remake, like rebuilt from the ground up, The Last of Us, which originally released on the PlayStation 3, then came out with a definitive edition, and now came out with The Last of Us Part 1. And it is still one of the best video games ever made. And while I say I was one of the suckers that did buy it, the reason why I did is because I love the games that they make. I think The Last of Us Part 1 literally is one of the best video games ever made, period. And same thing I felt about with The Last of Us Part 2. Going back and playing The Last of Us Part 1, now having a daughter, really makes things hit more than when I originally played on the PS3 and then played the remastered version on the PS4. Like, things definitely hit a lot harder. And the game is remarkably beautiful. Like, it's just, I'll say this, if you have a PlayStation 5 and you have never played The Last of Us, or if you're going to wait for the Steam version, you have a nice PC with a nice monitor, and you have not played The Last of Us before, it's a no-brainer. You should 1000% play it. It's phenomenal. It is literally one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life. And if you've already played The Last of Us before, and you have a PS5 or you're waiting for Steam or whatever it may be, believe it or not, I still recommend it because, again, still one of the best games in my opinion. So there's that. Just plugging away at that.
All right.
Yeah. And then we have God of War is coming out soon too.
Oh, Ragnarok.
I know. Can't fucking wait, man. Oh, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Yep.
The one thing I'm worried about
Yeah.
is they took the 3 games and they jam-packed the last 2 into one. They're not going to make a third one. This is it.
And they have said that this is going to be bigger and more expansive than before. So
I just hope it didn't get too condensed and we're missing things that should have been there.
Right. I agree.
Could be a lot of fun.
The one thing I will say is that I do not see this being like a Cyberpunk situation.
Yeah.
I don't see this being an Infinite situation.
No, I'll be happy with it. I
Yeah.
feel like what they set the groundwork for the first game will translate well into this one, and it's
I don't think
Can't wait.
Cory Balrog could fuck it up. So
Yeah.
I think they're going to be just fine. Very much looking forward to that, and that's just right around the corner. So it's going to be a good time. So if you have, I mean, and the other, Justin was talking about this too, is that I forgot about this, is that it's also releasing on PS4. It's one of the last games that they're doing that for. So you still have an opportunity. If you have a PlayStation 4 and you haven't gotten a PS5 yet, or you don't have the means to get one, then you can still play God of War Ragnarok, and that's fucking awesome.
It's pretty cool.
So, and I imagine it'll come to PC at some point in time. It'll only be a matter of time. Yeah, that's all I played. Sorry to ramble on even further. Let's get into some shout-outs. Shout-outs to everyone who followed and subbed during the live show. That includes Wonder or One Deer. I apologize for mispronouncing that. We have Hef, H2 Goat Cheese, and Skillers, thank you all very much for the follows. Greatly appreciated. And then Beth with the 28-month, Ziegler with the 3-month, and Brian with the 25-month. Thank you all so much for the subs. Again, just one last time, we'll give you all, woo! Thank you very much for the resubs as well. Happy belated birthday to Ishi, and happy birthday today to Celeste. It's Bittersweet on Twitter, and one of the admins of not only GT Halo, but of a lot of esports events that have been happening. So happy birthday to you, Celeste. Hope it was a great one. I think she turned 33 today. We still have a few more years to go till we hit that mark, but happy birthday to you. Community creations, Halo memes every day, reddit.com/r/Halo memes. Go check it out. I forgot to fucking include this, I think. We're 30, Briggs, by the way. I think I forgot to include this in a previous episode, but Dan Gaskin released his HCS Kansas City vlog, and I just want to put this as like a cliff note to the show here, is that that is exactly the type of vlog content that I want from an event. That was exactly what I wanted. It was goofy. It had things that they actually do behind the scenes at an event. And then, of course, it includes everything that they do outside of the event as well. It was awesome. It was fucking great. So please go check that video out. HCS Melbourne 2022, there's a little short montage by Kazra. Go check that video out. We have Dear Developers, Please Listen to Pros by Shyway. Clickbait title aside, and he even acknowledges that. Go check out that video. A great rundown of the GAs that we have right now in competitive Halo. If you don't know what a GA necessarily is, if you want to break down on each individual GA, and then like how the pro players are not against the casual players, and then just like a plea to the developers as well, all while being constructive, all while being respectful. Go check the video out. And then we have the 2022 Community Consensus. This is by Ascend Hyperion, and they state, today I launched my 2022 Halo Community Census. This short survey will yield a centralized source of data from Halo fans to be shared to the public and as an open letter to 343. Last time 6,000 Spartans stepped up. Let's make it to 10,000. So if you haven't already, go fill out that form. Links included in the Google Doc of the show notes of the show. ! Show notes in chat, or in the description of the YouTube video and or the audio version of the show on whatever podcast service you fucking use. That's it. That's all I got. Will, if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor and plugging the show.
Speaking of podcast services, Josh, we're on a lot of them out there.
What?
Major ones, of course, you can find us on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, and Spotify, and your favorite,
Pocket Casts.
Be sure to leave us a review and let others know about the show. It is greatly appreciated when we see those.
Yes, do it
up. You can join our Discord, join the community discussion. Links, again, in the same place as Josh just mentioned a second ago.
Yep.
We have our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you want to find us on social media, search for HCS Pro Talk there.
Yep.
For VODs, check out YouTube, youtube.com/HCS Pro Talk. We are
exists.
live on Twitch every Monday at 7 p.m. Central normally, unless there's a holiday and it's Tuesday like today.
Yep, that's true. Or in case something happens, we may push it, but we're here.
Go check out hcsprotalk.com. Link to the merch in the top right corner. Josh got some new stuff up there. I guess it's about, what, 3 weeks old? 4 weeks old now?
Yeah.
But newer.
I also think
stickers.
I think somebody bought stickers. I do think somebody bought stickers. So shout out to the person who bought stickers.
Thank you.
Yes.
And then don't forget about the fine folks over at Podcast Evolve. They gave us a little spot on their website. Feel a little part of the family, but make sure you check out evolvedhalo.com.
Your home for Halo.
They have great shows such as Podcast Evolve, Mission Debrief, Halo TV Plus, Book Club, Builds with Blocks, Halo Headlines, and Halo Gear Guide.
Snag bought the stickers.
Snag. Thanks, Snag.
Thanks, Snag.
And
love you.
They're just fantastic people. You should definitely go take a look at what they have going on.
Yeah, they got a lot going
on. All their show is basically lore, missions, Halo, the Halo show. They obviously discuss books in the book club, the Mega Block stuff, and then news stories on Halo Headlines.
Talk about a lot of stuff.
So yeah, it's all great. Go check them out.
Hell yeah.
And that's all I got, Josh. Do you want to close it out. Send us packing out of the show.
Yeah, I will say this was kind of a different type of show in terms of the topic that we had for this week, but I do want to just throw a couple things out there as like a little tease for the ending here. But before I do that, Carnage says, my cell service has been crap all night due to the weather, so I'm going to have to catch up with the podcast. Sucks I wasn't able to interact and be a part of the convo this week. Hey, Carnage, you can still interact in Discord, though. Or YouTube or whatever you want to do. But hey, if you want to be part of an active discussion after the show, just join the Discord. You can talk about it in there if you want.
I think he did.
There you go.
Continue.
Oh, so the couple of things I want to add to the end of the show here before we close things out fully is that, one, Will and I talked about it, and we have, again, this is a tease. We have some big things planned for the new year. It's just a tease, but we have some big things planned for the new year.
Just wondering how much you're going to spill the beans.
No, that's
now.
it. That's it.
Okay.
That's all. That's literally all I'm saying. So get excited for that. And yeah, that's it. Big things planned for the new year. You have to wait and see. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for episode 251 of HCS Pro Talk. If you're tuning in live via Twitch, thank you so much for taking the time out of your night, for joining us, joining the discussion, keeping it civil, as always, greatly appreciated. And we hope you, obviously, have a great rest of your night. If you're checking out the YouTube VOD, hello. Thank you for watching. Thank you for having it on in the background, whatever you see fit. If you're checking out the podcast audio version of the show, hello to you and thank you to you as well for doing as you do. Maybe you're even using Pocket Casts. Not an ad. Just really like the fucking app. You know what I mean? It's great. It's a great app. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back next week to talk about whatever the fuck happens. And I think it's going to be a fun time regardless. Yeah, go play the fucking yappening or whatever the hell is happening right now. And like I said, that weekly reward is actually kind of cool. So go get that weapon charm. Guys, we'll be back next week to talk about more shit. But until then, bye-bye!